after music to drive by Eiht, obviously goes solo with We Come Strapped, and because of, I guess, sampling and everything, it's harder to scratch on records. But I remember on the Death Threatz album on Killing Season, you scratched on there, but it wasn't any words. It was just a sound. So what changed from what you were doing?
Because I didn't want them to take any record that I scratched and turn around and sue Eiht for using those words. Because everything started getting very meticulous. You know what I'm saying? It was very just tedious. So I scratched on Set Trippin' too. But I used Eiht's voice to scratch. Come deal with E. Come. So I said, but we only had a few records in the studio with Eiht's voice on it. And I just did all the scratching in one night. I said, well, maybe if I took, because me and B Real were friends, I said, if Columbia Records coming up from scratching, I'm pulling my straps out for all you bums. I think I did that too on one of them songs. And I said, maybe I can negotiate something between Epic and Columbia, but I didn't want to use a lot of words because even people, you had to kind of write down what you were scratching just to make sure that the labels had knew everything.
Right.
So that's why I kind of like what you said. You know, I kind of went more with the beat type of stuff.
And how did that affect you as a producer, as a musician, as somebody that was into music? What effect did that have on you?
It had a lot because it made me slow down. So I created a style within myself, but I never really promoted it because then I started looking at the next generation coming up. So I said, I don't want to clog up their interest because music is kind of more expressional. And it's supposed to really be like a part of you showing, no matter where, it's supposed to be a part of you showing, but you got to be able to hold the crowd interest though. So you had like a friend of DJ Slips, his name was DJ Fat Jack. He was part of X Clan, and he used to run a place called The Good Life and another place in the Lamert area. All of his network started getting real popular. So I kind of pulled back on DJing in clubs. I think about 96, I kind of pulled out of everything. And I just started doing personal parties on my DBAs. Then I stayed after about 2000. I just left it all alone to like 2010. And a friend of mine that was a KD Mixmaster committed suicide. And he would always ask me, man, come back and do some music, man. Do some music. And I said, I always tell him, nah, man, I'm good. I already made my notch in the world. I'm good. I did everything I needed to do. I told everybody I could rise to this height, and I rose. I ain't trying to, but I was always used to having a job. So I always did construction. So once the Epic contract had ran out, I had enough money to sit up and just chill for about 3 years. And then in 2010, 2000, I started doing construction again but I always did parties though. So the party money was about a little spending money, and I started doing construction in 2010 until I got into a car accident on the job, and I just went back to running off my DBAs again. What you see, I got Scratch Gang Records and CMW. I run all that little stuff that I got on the screen right now.
Well, that's good. What gave you the desire and the interest to get into all the different things on the business side?
Doing a whole lot of homework online. I'm still trying to brighten my horizon right now. I done try to invest in some startup business through Republic and just figuring out certain things to invest. Because right now it's the time to invest. As everything's shut down, they got to go to a different direction.
Right.
So, once Trump got in the office, I got a management company that managed properties and stuff like that. I bought properties. Once he got in, I just said, look, this guy right here is not going to leave me broke. He don't know how to play with others. That's my thing about him. He don't know how to play with others. It's his way or the highway. And that's what I figured out about Trump to me. Now he's working with others because he has no choice. He figured out you have to work with others to get things done. But I knew the first couple of years he's going to be trying to pull his own strings in his own interest because he feels he knows better.
Right.
But the whole unit of the government is the whole unit of the government. You can't go over here and then they're going to pull their side, and now you had a tug of war between Democrats and Republicans. He pointing, they pointing. And I was like, man, I'm good with that. So I started a small little management company. That's all it is.
Okay. Well, there it is. Man, that's part one. We definitely going to have to get part two with DJ Mike too, man.
There's so much in there. People call me all the time and try to have me explain to make me go back in my head. Because I kind of like knocked, once 20,000 got in, I pushed all over that. When I did construction, we was doing some big jobs, and my mind went there. Now I like to fish, and I do beats still. I got my Scratch Gang Records right here. I do my own beats, and I like to fish. You ever see me on my Instagram that we hooked up on?
Yep.
You'll see me on my boat. I'll probably be on either tomorrow or Friday. I'm gonna go right out of Redondo, and I'm gonna be on my boat that I built in the quarantine.
What makes you? What got you into fishing?
I always fished. I used to go once a year with my dad. I did as a child. Just always fish. People, at least my mom would go to a picnic at Alondra Park that they got out here in, what's it, Lawndale or whatever it is. I would always take my pole at a little lake. I would always take my pole as a kid. So when I got older, it's like once I leave the land and I'm out there by myself, or if I pay to go on a charter, when I come back, I feel like a different person. If I catch fish or not, it just clears my head.
How's it clear your head? Because
I don't have to hear all the stuff that, your head, your body tunes to accept certain sounds that are around you. So me, if I'm trying to deal with music, if I go out, all I hear is the waves and a few birds here or there, a few motors going by and a little conversation going on, it clears my head up. I don't have to hear stoplights and roosters and dogs barking and machinery and whatever else goes on, And when I come back, I feel different. I sleep better until my body, because once it I guess depreciates or whatever it does. Fasted out, I don't know how you call it.
It's acclimation.
There you go. It kind of relieves all the tickets. Your body, once it adjusts to it, it's always fighting it off so it don't affect you. We're like sponges.
Right.
Everything around us affects us.
Products of our environment. That's right.
Yep. So when I leave and I come back, I'm different. I just don't like driving the traffic, but it done went down profusely since the freaking pandemic. So that's a good one too.
All right. Well, man, Mike T, I appreciate you coming through here to Unique Access, man. It's great talking with you.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Eiht, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.